Honeybone, classic British comedies created in the 60s, 70s and 80s. Your Dad's Army, Your Only Fools, Your Fawlty Towers, Steptoe, Blackadder, to name just a few, seem to have not just me, but the whole country in stitches. And yet the last decade has seen many flops, Vicious, Badolts, unbelievably, even Ben Elton failed to raise a chuckle with a show named after me, The Right Way. And don't even get me started on the Beebs' ongoing, longest-running sitcom, Not Going Out, which returned with barely a giggle round mine on Friday.
Aren't you a bit old for boxing, Lee?
Sonny Liston was my age when he took on Muhammad Ali.
You sure about that?
All right, maybe not. But Frank Bruno was my age when he took on Aladdin.
Well, I think it's ridiculous.
Look, I just don't want to stand by and watch criminals take advantage of you. And now that I'm boxing, next time I'll be ready. I've actually got my first sparring session tomorrow. You can come and watch if you like.
No, thanks. If I want to see you dazed and confused, I'll ask you to cook me a hot meal without using the kettle.
You laughed. And that was the only one. The only laugh. OK.
Yeah.
There are hits out like there, modern hits, Outnumbered, Fresh Meat, Bad Education, name three of my faves, which might explain why critics think this decade has held its own in sitcom history. But I think even hugely popular shows like Mrs. Brown's Boys and Miranda are kicked into the sidelines by even your average American sitcom, shows like New Girl or Big Bang Theory. And experts will point you to the fact that while British sitcoms are typically written by one or two people at most, across the pond, they're written by scores of skilled writers. And not only do they generate more laughs, but also the shows last longer there too. There are only 12 episodes of Fawlty Towers. 2.5 Men, how many do you think there have been so far? 248 episodes of 2.5 Men.
All with exactly the same plot.
Well, which is true enough.
Yeah.
I do keep wondering, is it the shows that we make that I'm failing to laugh at, or is it something wrong with me, John? I mean,
I think there is something wrong with you, Matthew.
I thought you might be right.
People have been talking about that for a long time.
Yeah.
No, in my case, I think it's as you get older. Do you know? I'm very aware of the fact that I'm the age I am, and so my preference, obviously, is for my time in sitcom and those sitcoms all around it, like Fawlty Towers and Dad's Army, the Ronnie Barker shows, you know, and all that. And I feel very comfortable with that. But they were ever so charming. I think the world has changed, and I think comedy has changed, and to my mind, it has become relatively charmless. A lot of the comedy heroes.
The bit I don't understand is Lee Mack, I've seen many times on chat shows, I've seen his stand-up bit. He is a funny man.
It's brilliant.
So what I don't understand is why a funny man is in a sitcom that doesn't make me laugh. He makes me laugh as Lee Mack, but not in the sitcom.
I think it's really difficult to get a very funny sitcom. I think
Why?
it's really
What is it
difficult.
that's the problem?
I think well, you touched upon it. In this country, they are written by one or perhaps two people. In the States, they'll have 50 people submitting material.
Porridge was only written by a couple of people, and it's funny from the start of each episode to the end.
Funny and simple. It was simple as well, Porridge. As well as Fawlty Towers. Very simple premise for the show.
Standard farce, isn't it? Starts off normal, ends off crazy.
Yeah. I still find Fawlty Towers hilarious. It was brilliant. And but also, not to take away... I mean, Connie Booth and John Cleese. Brilliant in it. Brilliant. Absolutely
all of them
brilliant.
Are brilliant,
And
really.
yeah,
I mean,
they were all absolutely fantastic.
What about My Family? That had a lot of writers.
Yeah.
So
But he still works like that as an American template, but unfortunately we can't afford to do that generally. The other thing
can't afford to. So
no, you can't afford to. You can barely afford to pay one writer on a sitcom, let alone 20 in a room for a year.
But you take something like the BBC, publicly funded. It's got billions of pounds going in, and yet I watched something like House of Cards, the American version on Netflix, which isn't even a broadcaster per se. It doesn't have a direct outlet apart from on the internet, and it wipes the floor with the British
What changed was the way stuff has been commissioned, and the commissioning process, and the fact that the people making decisions that weren't programme makers who became heads of department like they used to be in the old days. And it's not me kind of doing rose-tinted spectacles, but now it is people. There's a whole raft of middle management and a commissioning process that kills the funny. That in order to get a sitcom on TV, you have to write the pilot, then that has to go to a table read before it's even made into a pilot. So if you get a pilot, that might be 18 months down the line, by which time you've undergone so many rewrites and so many other people kind of put in their opinion in, that you've lost the essence of funny. Whereas Galton and Simpson and Clement Lefrene were allowed to get a programme on air from radio to TV very, very quickly. The turnaround, and also it wasn't just off within a second. I mean, Only Fools and Horses being an example, that it was allowed to just stay on TV and
Right.
to build up a following. Now the panic is it doesn't work within 10 minutes. Let's get it off.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And there are some really good shows
There
on
are,
now,
and
so-
that's why I've been reluctant about it.
Well,
I'm
like,
kind
you know,
of
Father
uneasy.
Ted, or there's one called
Yeah.
Toast on Channel 4
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah.
They're all, you know, they're great.
OK,
so-
well, let's find out whether you also share this view that many modern sitcoms just aren't that funny. Seema?
We have Andrew on line 1.
Morning, Andrew.
Good morning to you, Matthew.
Do you think that they're not as funny as they used to be? I mean, because there are good ones out there.
I agree with you and with Zoe. What you have in the United States is armies of writers and people who've got vision. For example, Frasier, it's sold all around the world. Friends, it's on its 20th repeat, sold all around the world. You couldn't sell Not Going Out. I mean, that is so lazy. They even call Lee on the programme. It's a disgraceful use of BBC money. And that's why the BBC are losing viewers. It's simply because they don't think, can we sell Lee Mack Not Going Out around the world? No, they think we'll just shove it in on Friday night at 9 o'clock or whatever.
OK, Andrew, strong views from you. Let's see if people agree.
We'll take Craig on line 2.
Morning, Craig.
Morning.
Go on,
I
then.
like
What's
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Well, just leave that one there, Craig. Thanks very much. It's a man who speaks in random programme titles. Big Bang Theory, Top of the Pops, Police 5.
We'll,
Keep them peeled.
Keep them peeled, thank you.
we'll try Mike on line 4.
OK. Mike, good morning.
Hi, morning, yeah.
Is it me or is it you or is it us?
I don't think there's a lack of ideas, perhaps, but I think what could be happening is just the sheer amount of other channels and perhaps how strict the main channels have become, as you say, of some of those pilots and so on, because you've seen so many interesting ideas go to Sky, even to channels like Gold, which are normally based on repeats.
So you feel that the trend is that sitcoms are getting less funny?
Well, I don't think there's any lack of ideas at all. I think there really is. The same amount there, but maybe it is that process with the fact that the pilots there's such strictness on the main channels. But I think that maybe there needs to be more adventure to give things a go more, perhaps.
I'll go along with that. Mike, thank you. We'll give the last word to the audience, actually, on this. We've got some younger people here. Maybe it's just my age. I'm just too old to get it.
Well, I mean, obviously there's great shows like The In-Betweeners and stuff. But I think what you were saying about the commissioning thing, I think there's loads of like really cool original comedy stuff online that's kind of coming out. And so when I think mass media takes those people more seriously, we'll see a kind of resurgence of...
Tell me quickly, did you find more comedy online on things like...
Yeah, definitely.
You do?
Yeah, so much stuff on YouTube that's kind of,
That's
I would
great
say,
news.
rivaling TV, yeah.
Great news for Steve's latest character in the Mayor of Kentish Town. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much to you at home. But we have to go, I'm afraid. John, always a pleasure, as per usual.
Thanks
and
so much.
Don't forget, of course, you could do a lot worse than pick up a copy of his latest novel, Reggie in the Frame, if you fancy a few laughs away from the TV. Zoe and Steve, we'll see you tomorrow. Ladies and gents, give it up for a wonderful panel. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, we've got model come activist Katie Piper. She'll be here to lead us through the headlines. We're going to find out if revenge porn, shaming websites and Twitter trolls prove we're a more vengeful bunch than ever before. Why is that, do you think? And also asking if willpower is something you're born with or can grow. Thanks for choosing us this morning. Tell us who for your calls and messages. We'll see you 9:15 tomorrow. Bye for now.
Would you like to be part of the Wright Stuff? Well, if you've got something to shout about, why not join our live studio audience? Call us now on 0207 173 5555. Get a seat and get on TV.